Can you make a video about red flags in therapists?
Go watch that TikTok. I'll tag the creator in it because they had the stitch and duets off. But I'd like to add to the conversation. She covered some really important ground in red flags in therapists and things to be aware of, like always canceling and rescheduling, sharing way too much about themselves, not holding good boundaries, that kind of thing. But there's a few more I'd like to add to the mix. So here's some additional things you can look out for. Number one, being too quick to diagnose with something that can be stigmatizing, labeling, or come with problems. There are certain diagnoses like personality disorders, bipolar, ADHD, autism, things like that you cannot properly assess for in the first session or in the first month, sometimes the first year. They should also be discussing with you what the diagnosis is going to be, and you should be getting a copy of your treatment plan, which needs to be signed by you. Next up is something she kind of hinted at, that counselors shouldn't tell you what to do, but I want to take it one step further. We're trained to not actually give advice, to not be the experts on your life. And while we are trained in interventions and techniques that can help with the symptoms you're struggling with, it can be really dangerous to tell a client they have to do something and that this is what the result's going to be. It can not only not work, but it can break trust. And anything they are suggesting for you to try, they should be explaining thoroughly as to why and how it works and what you should be expecting to see. So many of my clients breathing techniques don't work because they don't know why they're breathing, what it's supposed to do, and what the outcome is supposed to be. One of the last things I want to touch on is the silent therapist. Give the cliche of the therapist sitting there nodding and taking notes while the person just talks for the full hour. And while it's true that we're taught not to bring ourselves to session, not to take up the space and to allow it to be a safe space for you to process and talk, you are not paying money to sit there and have someone just smile and nod at you while you just talk for an hour and get nowhere. It is very beneficial to process and say things out loud, but you want an interactive therapist. And that can look a million different ways, and there's a different fit for everybody. But you should feel like you are getting something from each session. You should be seeing your progress. You should know what to expect. They should be transparent and honest with you. And most importantly, you should feel safe. Just my 2 cents.